What's going on? It's your boy, Brother Al, and I'm back with another one. And today, we're going to talk to you about this is not your grandfather's Democrat Party. All right? This is not your grandfather's Democrat Party. So, if you support the channel, you like the video, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and tell me what you think about it. Even if you like it or don't, I want to know, or just want to know your thoughts. I read the comments and I do interact with a lot of them, if not almost all of the comments. All right. So, just talking about this, man. Um, I just noticed just through my conversations and all that with people and people online and stuff, how basically the Democrat Party is not your grandfather's Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has changed a lot. I would say within the last 15 years or so. The last 15 years or so, the Democrat Party has really shifted a lot. I remember as a child that grew up in the 90s and becoming of age and everything. And yeah, I was a child at the time, but the Democrat Party was a party of, well, number one, it was a lot more conservative. Okay. Obama himself, when asked, said that he always stood for traditional marriage. Okay. But then by the time he was campaigning for his first presidential run, towards the time that he got out of office, basically he became the LGBTQ president. All right. So if you're more of a conservative type Christian person, that has a lot to conflict with the values that you were raised with. A lot of the values that the Democrat Party used to have, they kind of like, they just went away. And just, you would hear what used to be the far left extremist fringe parts of the parties, where politicians used to say, oh no, they used to shout their side down and be like, oh no, those are just extremists. Now that's the norm in the Democrat Party. Okay. 20 years ago, you wouldn't see anybody jumping up and down celebrating that somebody was assassinated. You wouldn't see anybody celebrating the fact that, or getting upset, I should say, over the fact that one of our political leaders or a presidential candidate had a near miss and wishing that the assassin's bullet would have hit him. Okay. The Democrat Party, what used to be the fringe element of the party, is now the main focus of the party, and is now the loudest voices in the room. And there just was no voice and no room for conservative Democrats anymore. And so I just had to get up out of there, and pretty much they force you out. Just like, for instance, when you look at with Stephen A. Smith and how because he saw it. The Democrat Party was ready to force him out. And yeah, I know he says he's independent, but usually you can be independent but lean a certain way. I'm independent. I'm not a Republican, but I lean towards conservative values. I lean towards Republican values, even though I'm independent. Yeah, he may be independent, but he leans to the left. He tries to dabble into conservatism. He for instance, when he called out Jasmine Crockett, and then as soon as he got the backlash and the pushback from the brulee, from the which is the black bourgeoisie, he's all on over TV now wanting to blast Trump, even though he's blasted Trump before. But what I find from the left is they have very selective memory. So they say, well, you talked about Jasmine Crockett, but what about Trump? It's always the whataboutism. It's always but Trump. So he had to correct, and he overcorrected by trying to blame Trump on arresting NBA players for gambling. Okay, he's not blaming the NBA players for gambling, but blaming Trump because the NBA players had gambled. Okay, so you see the delusion from the left. You see how they just went away from common sense laws on 80-20 issues, where 80% of the country agrees on certain issues, and you got the 20% that's like the very minority, very few minority. They champion the 20% issues. And even today, I had a little chit chat with a liberal online, and I come to find out that a lot of them have, like, they'll say, "Oh, but you know Trump was this, or you know that," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know that." But the thing is, when I say, "Well, did you know this? Did you know that illegals were getting $1,500 a month in food stamps? Some of them having like $11,000 on their food stamps cards, which is crazy, out of control, right?" She had no idea. She thought I was just making it up. She was like, "What can I see?" Well, and I show her the evidence. Like, I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. They got literal, actual paper receipts showing that these illegal aliens are getting buku stamps, temporary cash assistance. And you think that I'm going to be supporting politicians that do that? And so the fact that, like, even she was like, "Oh, no way that can happen." They're not going to give health care to illegals. That's illegal. They're not going to give health care to illegal immigrants. That's illegal. I'm like, think about what you just said. The Democrats allowed 20 million people to come in illegally. But all of a sudden now they're going to obey the law and say, "No, we can't do this because that's against the law." Make it make sense. So that's why I just had to walk away from it. I just had to go away from it. And it's not even so much that I walked away, it's that they push you out. They pushed out Donald Trump. Okay? Because where he saw the nation going, the Democrats was in such delusion and cuckoo puffs that they weren't with it. So for common sense laws, Republicans supported. So he went to the Republican side. So they pushed out Donald Trump. They pushed out RFK, who's a Kennedy. You don't even hear Democrats talk about Kennedys no more. One of the greatest presidents, the guy that was able to get us to the moon, if you believe that, right? But the guy that was able to get the U.S. to the moon first. They don't even talk about him no more. They hate the Kennedys now. Nikki Haley, one of the most brilliant female, women's rights, right? Female rights so much, right? They hate Nikki Haley now. They push her out. And so many others that they pushed out of the party because they can't get on board with common sense things anymore. So thanks for watching the video. If you made it to this part, I appreciate you. Go ahead, go ahead, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so that you get all of my latest content. Peace. God bless you. Happy Friday. Have a blessed weekend.